Hello. Thank you for watching. Oh, there we go. This new studio is a tight fit. On Sunday, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints read an announcement out over the pulpits, which apparently was already announced or leaked in some newspapers, because in Sunday school, the person sitting behind me described her and her husband talking about what this announcement meant before Sunday. But here's what the announcement was. Here are my thoughts on it. Here's what it means. The announcement was a change in how we do baptisms for the dead in our temples. Specifically, now priests who are 16-year-old boys, or can be, a priest could be any age, but usually we encourage people to get the Melchizedek priesthood if they're an adult. So if somebody's a priest, we're probably talking about 16-year-old boys. 16-year-old boys who can do baptisms outside of the temple now can be the ones doing the baptisms in the temple and being witnesses and recording the baptisms that are done. This is going to take effect January 1st. Before this change, the young men would be the one who is baptized. Oh, excuse me, soda gas. They would be the one going down into the water, but they wouldn't be the one making the other guy go down into the water. And young women can now, when we go to the temples, the policy did say at the discretion or something like that of the temple presidency. So there could be a temple president who still says we have enough adults to do the things, or I want to talk to the kids first, and says this one, that one, no, they're not ready or mature enough or something. That could happen, but I'm guessing most temple presidents are going to take advantage of the opportunity to have more people doing things, or to give the youth the opportunity to do more things in the temple. Before this change takes effect, the young woman can only be the one in the water getting dunked. After we do baptisms for the dead in the temple, we do confirmations. And confirmation is confirmed members of the church, but we're not forcing them. We believe they get a choice. The dead people, their spirit that's still alive, gets a choice to whether to accept or not. And when we give our statistics about how many millions of members we have, we're not counting baptisms for the dead. That's living people that are members. And the young men and the young women can both be the proxy for the confirmation. They sit in the chair, and hands are put on their head, and sacred words are said. In the confirmation room, nothing is changing, because outside of the temple, giving the gift of the Holy Ghost and confirming a member of the church is done by Melchizedek priesthood. And so that's not changing. Now, in the baptistry, the young women can do the things now that the adult women were doing in the baptistry. So squeegee the water into the drain. Most of our temples, we've got a big thing of water we're getting into and getting out of. So there's water to deal with. And most of them have a drain built into the floor to take care of that excess water that's dripping off of people. And we squeegee and push it into that, towards the drain, and give out towels, maybe even go to the laundry room of the temple. Yep, so that's the change. One person, last night on my break at work, I was looking at the internet, seeing how many news sites reported it and how they explained it. And in the comments to one of the news sites, somebody wrote that there's going to be no change for the young women. They will do what they were always doing, which is very wrong. I was very eager to get home and type a response to that person, but I couldn't find that comment again when I got home. I think this is wonderful. The first thought I had when this was being read, this policy change in sacrament meeting, was here is an example of how the living church of God, of the living God, with a living prophet, can make changes. And it doesn't mean that God's not eternal. It doesn't mean God's not right. It doesn't mean God's not the same yesterday, today, and forever. God can tweak things. God can say, we're going to do things a little bit differently. You know, like, things that aren't going to be changed are like historical facts, revelations that God has given about the pre-earth life, prophecies about the future that were a revelation God gave. Those aren't going to be changed. But how we do things, how we function on this earth and our lives, how the mechanisms in the church, that's something that the Lord has every right to change, and He just did. So, one reason I'm excited about this is I want my son to baptize me for the dead. We'll be able to do that 2 years sooner with this policy. Under the old policy, we would have needed to wait until he was 18 or 19 to do the baptizing for the dead and baptize me for the dead. Now when my son's 16, if he's holds the priesthood by then and is temple worthy, he can baptize me for the dead. Alright, so thank you. I'll try to find a link, the official announcement by the church to put in the comments. Talked about what the change is and how it affects us and what I think about it. Good. If I can get out of the studio chair. There we go.